The development of this guidance notes and supplemental modules to the CES manual has been made possible under the direction and leadership provided by the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, DRRMS. The recognition and support of the Executive Committee, under the leadership of Secretary, Leonor Magdolis Briones, on the importance of providing appropriate mental health and psychosocial support services, MHPSS, to learners amidst COVID-19, as identified in the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, is greatly appreciated. Appreciation to the Psychological Association of the Philippines is extended, for the technical assistance and expertise provided in the development of this supplementary material to the CES manual. Last but not least, sincere gratitude also goes to the UNESCO Jakarta team for the approval and support on the development of this guidance notes and supplemental modules to the CES manual. How are you feeling today? You are now on page 1 of a set of pages that will contain modules to help you talk about your experiences during the months of lockdown due to the pandemic or maybe due to another disaster. I am sure you are eager to participate because there are many things to talk about. There will be a total of 4 modules for you to answer in order to complete this task. You will be doing a lot of activities, and you will also learn from the readings and infographics provided in this booklet. The aim of these activities is to help you feel better as you are provided with ways to react to all the disruptions caused by the pandemic or the disaster. After you are done answering all the 4 modules, you will need to submit these back to me so that I can give you feedback on your answers. Let's begin. Open your module on page 40 and look at the lines. You are going to write a letter. Pause and think. Then write, "My dear friend." Using the lines on the page. Write to a friend about the following. During the months of lockdown, what were the 5 routines or reactions you did at home? An example would be, I slept most of the time. Or, I watched television. Others may say, nothing. I help in the household chores. Number them from 1 to 5 and write them down on the front part of your letter. On the back page of your letter, write to your friend about your feelings towards your reactions or routines. An example of feeling would be, I felt bored. Or, I felt afraid. Others may say, I experienced anxiety. You can repeat your feelings, but you may not repeat the routines or reactions. You can explain why you felt that way or why you reacted that way. You do not need to write a long letter. A short one will do. Once you are finished writing, I would like you to read the information entitled Common Reactions of Students to Stressful Events on page 41. Compare your feelings to the feelings written. Are there commonalities? Were there feelings that you also felt but that you were not able to mention in your letter? Here are the common reactions of students to stressful events. You feel a strong responsibility to the family. You feel anxious brought about by uncertainty of the future. You feel intense or prolonged grief for not being able to wake. You may become self-absorbed and feel self-pity. You may experience changes in your relationships with other people. You may also start taking risks, engage in self-destructive behavior, have avoidant behavior, and become aggressive. You may experience major shifts in your view of the world accompanied by a sense of hopelessness about the present and the future. You may become defiant of authorities and parents while you start relying on peers for socializing through social media. You may feel guilty and anxious having been separated from your loved ones due to lockdown. I want you to know that all your feelings, all your reactions for the past days are valid. To validate is to affirm that these feelings/s are happening. I want you to say to yourself, it is okay that I felt this way. It is okay to not be okay. I want you to know that all your emotions are real and true. And that all of those, they are normal feelings. They are normal because other people may also share the same feelings, but the intensity of feelings is uniquely yours. Tell yourself, all these are normal feelings. What are the common feelings to the usual routines of your everyday life? What are your shared human experiences of COVID-19 or of the disaster that hit your town? Are they similar? Are they dissimilar? Now that you have recognized your common humanity, you feel a sigh of relief from knowing that you were not alone. You can empathize with each other. You accept each other. These are all normal feelings to stressful situations. If you wish, you can take a photo of the letter and share it with your friend. I hope this empowers you to go on living. There are a wide variety of positive and negative reactions that you can experience during and immediately after crisis situations. For cognitive domain, the negative responses are confusion, worry, self-blame, and for the positive responses, determination, courage, optimism, faith. For emotional domain, the negative responses are shock, sorry, grief, sadness, fear, anger, numb, irritability, guilt, and shame, and for the positive responses, feeling involved, challenged, mobilized. For social domain, the negative responses are fights with others, or does not speak with others, and for the positive responses, seeks out others who can help them, helps others in need. For physiological domain, the negative responses are tired, headache, muscle tension, stomachache, difficulty sleeping, fast heartbeat, and for the positive responses, alertness, readiness to respond, increased energy. As a student, you might feel common negative reactions that may continue. An example is called intrusive reactions. Intrusive reactions are moments of re-experiencing the trauma after it has ended. Re-experiencing can occur in a variety of ways. Some of the most common are flashbacks, dreams and nightmares, rumination, and intense and seemingly unprovoked emotions. These includes distressing thoughts or images of the event while awake or dreaming. You might feel upsetting emotional or physical reactions to reminders of the experience. You might experience feeling like the experience is happening all over again. Sometimes we call it flashback. You may avoid talking, thinking, and having feelings about the traumatic event, or avoid reminders of the event, places and people connected to what happened. You may feel restricted emotions, or you feel numb. You might experience feelings of detachment and estrangement from others like social withdrawal. Or you may lose interest in usually pleasurable activities. Another example of common negative reactions is called physical arousal reactions. These includes constantly being on the lookout for danger, startling easily, or being jumpy. Irritability or outbursts of anger, feeling on edge, or difficulty falling or staying asleep. You may also experience problems concentrating or paying attention. Another example of common negative reactions is called reactions to trauma and loss reminders. These includes reactions to places, people, sights, sounds, smells, and feelings that are reminders of the disaster. Reminders can bring on distressing mental images, thoughts, and emotional or physical reactions. Common examples include sudden loud noises, sirens, locations where the disaster occurred, seeing people with disabilities, funerals, anniversaries of the disaster, and television or radio news about the disaster. There are positive changes in priorities, worldview, and expectations. This includes enhanced appreciation that family and friends are precious and important. Meeting the challenge of addressing difficulties, by taking positive action steps, changing the focus of thoughts, using humor, acceptance. Shifting expectations about what to expect from day to day and about what is considered a good day. Shifting priorities to focus more on quality time with family or friends. Increased commitment to self, family, friends, and spiritual or religious faith. When a loved one dies, common reactions include feeling confused, numb, disbelief, bewildered, or lost. Feeling angry at the person who died or at people considered responsible for the death. Strong physical reactions such as nausea, fatigue, shakiness, and muscle weakness. Feeling guilty for still being alive. Intense emotions such as extreme sadness, anger, or fear. Increased risk for physical illness and injury. A person may also feel decreased productivity or difficulties making decisions. Having thoughts about the person who died even when you don't want to. Longing, missing, and wanting to search for the person who died. Children and adolescents are particularly likely to worry that they or a parent might die. Children and adolescents may become anxious when separated from caregivers or other loved ones. What helps when a loved one dies? Talking to another person for support or spending time with others can help you in overcoming these emotions. You may also engage in positive distracting activities like sports, hobbies, or simply reading. You should get adequate rest and eating healthy meals, try to maintain a normal schedule. And scheduling pleasant activities can help a lot. One may also take breaks, reminisce about a loved one who has died. Focus on something practical that you can do right now to manage the situation better. Use relaxation methods like breathing exercises, meditation, calming self-talk, or listen to music. You may also participate in a support group. Exercise in moderation. You may keep a journal or seek counseling. What does not help you in overcoming emotions of a lost loved one? These includes drinking alcohol or using drugs to cope. Extreme withdrawal from family or friends. Overeating or failing to eat. Withdrawing from pleasant activities. Working too much. Experiencing or committing violence or conflict. You should also avoid doing risky things like driving recklessly, substance abuse, or not taking adequate precautions. Extreme avoidance of thinking or talking about the event or a death of a loved one. Not taking care of yourself. Excessive TV or computer games. The last one is blaming others. Now that you knew that what you were feeling or how you were reacting was like the one on the list, how do you feel now about yourself? Always remember that your reactions to the stressful situation are normal now or until about 3 months. Most young people will react in the same manner. You are not being crazy when you have those feelings. Also, the next time you feel that way, try to take 10 deep breaths. Slowly. And then try to do letter writing and send a letter to your close friends. This will help you calm down. Today you learned that our reactions to the stressful events of pandemic or any other form of disaster were normal and valid. How does this new learning that my reactions and feelings toward COVID-19 disaster were normal after all help you? How can you apply this learning to your life, especially after experiencing such a pandemic? Read your letter again. Compare how you feel now that you know that those feelings were normal and valid. Say to yourself, my feelings are valid. My reactions are normal. My feelings and reactions are valid and normal.